What's up, pluggers and pickers around the world? Welcome to Six String Sit Down. I'm your host, Mitch Wessel, and I'm here with the wonderful Alena Ciera.
How's it going?
All right, Alena, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, gigging and everything else to make the trip down to Delaware from Maryland.
Just take a time.
Yep. So, your band, it's One Identity?
Mm-hmm.
How did it start, and could you describe your sound to someone that maybe hasn't heard you guys before?
Yes. So One Identity is a pop rock band. The pop-ish come from me writing. I'm majority writing the band's music. And my drummer, Helix, is also a music director, so he basically arranges the music. But
awesome.
When it comes with writing, then the words are kind of pop-ish, so that's where the
Right.
pop comes from. And then I'm pretty much like a rock head, so I listen to a lot of Linkin Park and some metal, not
Awesome.
deathcore metal, but
Right. That's awesome.
upbeat metal. So that's where the rock part came from. Because my favorite band is Breaking Benjamin. So
Nice.
I'm gonna go see them at Jeffrey Lee's live not too long ago.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, how old were you when you first started playing, and what lit the spark?
I was 6 years old when I started playing. My mom got me this little small red harmony guitar, which is amazing. And I just moved up from there, and I was self-taught. So that's how that started.
So you said you were self-taught. Any mentors or YouTubers or anybody that helped you? Were important along the way to your growth?
Yes. On the way, I had a former guitar teacher named Walter Cosby. He's always giving me advice, and always. It's funny how she sometimes used to say I had a hard head because I never used to listen sometimes. And then I have my friend Tiffany. She plays bass. She always gives me great advice and things that always tend to happen and things like that. And also the music director of Belladonna, Cherie, Sweet Cherie, that's what they call her. She's always there and supporting and giving me advice at things, even with music and everything like that in the band. And that's where I can really. Oh, and last but not least, I can't forget my music director / drummer of One Identity, Haley.
Okay.
He's always helping me through arranging music. Just knowing the ins and outs of things to really know and things that could better me as a guitar player, but as an artist and performer.
It's always good to have help along the way.
Yeah.
You go down the YouTube rabbit hole and
I
kind
did actually. That really helped out a lot. The
Who's
first
the-
song I learned was "Sweet Home Alabama."
Nice. That's a good one to start. Who's your one of your favorite YouTubers that you kind of like one of your go-tos?
I don't really remember the guy's name, but yeah, I don't remember. I really don't. I've seen so many YouTube videos of learning different genres of styles of music, so I just hopped right in on YouTube.
Nah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's kind of the way a lot of people do it nowadays. I mean, who needs lessons when there's endless
Right.
stuff out there. So, when you're growing on the instrument, who were some of your biggest influences?
I have Joe Satriani and Santana, honestly.
Wow, those are two awesome influences. Did you ever watch any of the G3s? Any of that stuff growing up, like the Satch and Vi and all them guys that get together and jam?
Not really, no. Unless I like popped it on YouTube, I probably seen like a couple of them, but I just seen like Santana and Joe Satriani's like live videos of their performances when
Yeah.
they you know, playing for the people and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah.
that really got me interested. In
Santana's doing a great job of reinventing himself too, just hooking up with modern pop artists and doing his thing. He's killing it. So as you were learning on the instrument, what was some of the things that you spent the most time doing that you would say helped you progress, as a player the most? Learning songs, working on technique.
Honestly, it was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I know like learning other songs helped out with the chords. So learning where the chords, where the chords are and where they were.
Yeah.
And then the techniques also just hopped into place with learning and knowing those chords.
Right.
So the 1, 3, and 5.
Yeah, the Nashville number system. I've talked about that with a couple players. It's huge. I mean, if you want to get up and jam. I used to play in the gospel scene, and guys would be 5,
Right.
6,
I was about to say
6,
that, 5.
2.
Go six,
Throwing numbers at you. Yeah, I mean, if you want to sink or swim, that's definitely a nice little life preserver as a guitarist. Mm-hmm. So you're a songwriter. Mm-hmm. What's your creative process like? Do you have a routine, or is it just kind of spontaneous, different with every song?
Honestly, it's just spontaneously different from each song. Every song that I've written, 9 times out of 10, I will honestly start on the acoustic guitar. So I have a Taylor that I use at home, and I'll just start plucking around on the Taylor, seeing what chords I think would sound good. And then once I get a structure of how I want the chords, the melody of the song to go,
Yep.
I would just start mouthing off words or how I feel about something. But 9 times out of 10, all the songs that I've written off have been like a storyline of the things that happened, like something that happened to me or a situation that happened between me and somebody else.
Right.
The song that I actually have out now that took me literally an hour to write is called In Your Feelings.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. That song is awesome. That song, yeah. I was going to ask you what the story is behind that one. How did it go from just an idea to what we hear now on iTunes?
Honestly, it came about. So before my band when I didn't be was a whole other band before this year, and we all broke off. Sad to say, after a while. But it honestly was based off of the situation that happened to us when we were. Before we broke off.
Right.
And everybody was just in their feelings about, the situation of, I'm trying to think what it was. There's just a lot of, he say, she say.
Yeah, just
stuff
being in a
band.
band, yeah. It's like being married to 5 people at once. It's it can be complicated.
Right. And they're all guys, so me being the only female, I'm just like, they will all have, a conversation and stuff without me. I'm just like, it's kind of what females do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I was going to ask you about that too. What's your experience like being a female guitarist? It's been a pretty male-dominated thing for a long time. what's that experience been like for you?
Honestly, it is an experience, just because some guys don't really expect females to really, hold it down or be able to, throw little licks here and there. Like, I had one guy that came up to me afterwards, was like, you've really killed it. You're really great. You're going to go so far, blah, blah, blah. He said, honestly, when I first saw you, I didn't expect that. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, so you gotta feel like you always gotta prove yourself a little extra before that makes sense. But you're definitely holding it down, so that's awesome.
Trying my best.
In your opinion, what makes a good artist? As someone that writes and has been a part of bands, what?
That's a good question.
What do you think?
Honestly, what I can say what makes a good artist is being true to yourself and staying true to yourself, because having or try to have people to change you it won't work, and it won't make you or form you as an artist.
Right.
So being able to write and just staying who you are, because I actually have a song that's going to be out in the summer hopefully called Who I Am, and I wrote that song based off of trying to find my purpose in life and what I'm here to do, and still trying to figure out the little things that I feel like would not also push me, but shape me of who I am.
Right.
So I can honestly really say defining yourself as an artist will be trying to find out who you are.
Absolutely, and it's as long as you stay, like you said, that's a good advice. Stay true to yourself, because you're never going to please everybody. You know what I mean? There's always going to be, So as long as you know you're doing what you truly love, that's all that matters. And along that same line, what do you think, in your opinion, makes a good guitarist? What would you say? If you had to make a perfect guitarist stew, what are the ingredients?
Rhythm, phrasing, solos, and chording. Actually, I will also say voicings too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guitar players don't have, where they can actually really shape other chords or voicings and stuff like that, and other songs. So I would say that could be, to me, that's a good guitar player. Because also a lot of people don't know how to stay on rhythm.
Yeah, no, that's super. If you don't got, rhythm ties into solo. A lot of people don't even think there, but there's rhythm in soloing, and the voicing thing. That's something that nobody talks about enough. Because if you're playing with keyboard players, a bunch of other instrumentalists, you don't want to clash. You want to find your spot in that mix. That's great advice for any guitar player out there. So, what's your main live rig these days?
Okay, I got a 2003 American Strat with D'Addario NXL-YL's the extra light strings.
Nice.
I don't play very hard strings because they mess up my fingers.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I also use a Bosch GT1. Let me pick it up. Pick it up. Bosch GT1 here.
Okay.
So I use that, and I also have for amp a Fender Hot Rod, or a Fender DeVille. I switch between the two. But that's basically what I use right now. I'm still in the process of building my pedal board, like I told you earlier. So
Right.
I just bought the HX Stomp, so I'm excited to.
Yeah, it's a whole world. There's Jason Saditz. That's a good YouTube channel to go to for that. He's like the Helix master.
Actually, I think I did come across his.
Yeah, he's like a bald dude.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's there's a bunch of forums out there that are really good, and they all kind of lead to that guy. So that's a good reference point for the Helix. Well, this is one of my favorite questions I like to ask every guitar player. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of guitarists? You got to pick 4. From anybody from nowadays to all the way back to whenever.
Okay. Joe Satriani, Jimi Hendrix, Prince, Satriani. Not Satriani, but Santana.
That's great. And I don't think anybody's ever picked Satriani yet, which is surprising because he's awesome. What's your favorite Sat song? Do you know?
Made of Tears.
Yeah, that's a good one. He talk about phrasing. He's got incredible phrasing. He's such a tasteful shredder, So
I actually learned some of the beginning of Made of Tears. And sometimes you look at things like, oh, it seems so hard, but it's like, no, it's really easy.
Yeah.
And if you actually listen, you take the time to really go through it. And I was just like, I didn't think that sometimes I was capable of doing some things unless I really heard it, heard somebody do it. Then I'll mimic it very quickly, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was that. And you pick up things from him. But I wish I could have his hands.
Yeah. Work in progress, right? One day, Well, that's pretty much going to wrap us up for today. I have just one, pretty much, what's on the horizon for the band and for you.
One Identity is going to be completing the album in the summertime, so stay tuned. Look forward to that. And I'm also going to be putting out an EP/album in about the same time, hopefully around the time. But other than that, I would just say, stay tuned to the band's upcoming shows. We might be in Delaware sometime soon, or Wisconsin, since we might be having that coming up as well.
Awesome.
On tour. And yeah.
You said you're getting ready to go down on a cruise in Florida?
Yes, I'm going to play on a Cowboy Jazz cruise with a all-female band named Belladonna.
That's awesome.
So that's going to be really fun because there's going to be a lot of celebrities on the boat.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a blog from the time I leave since I'm on a cruise.
Where can we find that when you're all finished? Just on the One Identity page or on your personal page?
It's going to be on my personal Instagram. So it's just Alena_Ciera.
Awesome.
Which is my branding and artist name is Alena Ciera. So.
Nice. And besides that, you can find everything on iTunes, right? For One Identity and everything like that.
iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon Music, all the music.
Spotify, all that,
Yeah,
all the streaming
Spotify,
platforms.
yeah. All the
Awesome.
streaming music platforms.
Well, Alena, it was a pleasure. Thank you very
Yes,
much. I
no problem.
appreciate it.
Thanks, guys, for having me here today. It was fun.
Awesome.
Thank you.